I'm in the departure lounge now because you don't know 70 year and 10, and the last 20 years flew. So God knows what the next 14 is going to do if I'm lucky enough to get that. But while I'm alive and while I'm fit and able, I want to do the best I can for Tommy and Tyson. But Tyson, obviously, he's in a different league now. 20,000 yes men around him. You know, this is what happens, I think, when you get to the top. There's a lot of leeches out there, a lot of hangers on. As you can see what's happening in America with him. Appalling work, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion, but I'm straightforward. But that's Tyson's business. He's over 21. It's up to him.
When you say appalling, are you talking about the whole thing where, you know, he was going to fight AJ and then at the last minute suddenly he's fighting Deontay Wilder?
It's diabolical, isn't it? You know, you're geared up to fight one man, and all of a sudden on the 11th hour, it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts in the hall of a boxing venue. You know, they're around him like locust. You know, and I think to myself, you know, how can you think straight with all that around you? It's, for my money, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We can blame his team, can't he? No one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that's been rushed. He was fighting AJ. I want him to fight AJ. I have no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why has he got to fight Wilder? I told him on a phone conversation, chuck the belt in the bin, let him have it, come back and fight AJ on the 14th of August like was planned. But who am I? I'm nobody, unfortunately. A voice that only a certain amount of people hear. And because you don't drive a Rolls Royce, live in a castle, it falls on deaf ears, doesn't it? You can be idiot. You can be a idiot and an imbecile and come out of a big setup and they listen to you, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's unfortunately the case.
And then you've got the detractors, like AJ's camp, claiming that they never wanted, Tyson never wanted it in the first place.
They're rubbish, rubbish. I'm just concerned whether Tyson can raise his game for Wilder. Whether he gets complacent, makes a mistake, you know, but I don't know. He's got every chance of going wrong out there because I don't like how it's been handled. It's been badly handled, you know, and that's just my opinion, no one else's. Tyson knows what he's doing, but I said, get back on a plane. Let's have a look at the situation properly. Let's assess it. But, you know, there's no bright lights and glitz here, is there? Wythenshawe. What would you do? Want to be in Vegas or Wythenshawe?
Well,
but let me tell you, if you want to keep your WBC belt, you're better in Wythenshawe. Enough said, eh?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say about the Wilder thing, because obviously he beat him very convincingly last time. I mean, arguably beat him the first time. Is there a danger that he just thinks he can just turn up and walk through him again?
The danger point is getting fair play out there. At the minute, the American boxing fraternity has been embarrassed from last escapade. Why wouldn't you take a $20 million step aside without fighting and a guaranteed shot at the winner when you're fighting for a lot less money than $20 million and you're risking getting your skull caved in again? It don't make sense on his part. So obviously, the powers that be in America are involved, aren't they? And they're calling the shots. And they've sort of like trapped both men, haven't they? They've trapped them both, in my opinion. But I'd just say, listen, there's your belt, keep it. He keeps going on about belts mean note to him, don't he, my son? There's your belt, I'm fighting AJ. You know, or if you want to fight, no problem. I'll fight in Saudi. And then the Saudis are happy then, aren't they? Because they've gone to a lot of trouble, those people. They've gone to a lot of running around, a lot of expense. They deserve better than what's happened, you know, because I just feel like they've done it all wrong. On the 11th hour, and everybody knew about the arbitration. And I was told the arbitration was under control, it's not a problem. All of a sudden, the 11th hour is a problem. It's madness. But the only problem is with this madness, my son's caught up in the middle of it. And I'm not an happy man about any of it.
But hopefully, you know, if Tyson comes through Wilder and AJ fights Usyk, which is no gimme, then there's a chance they could...
Both men could get beat. AJ could get beat, so could Tyson. Because both men could get complacent, thinking about one another, and all of a sudden you're doing something else. They're geared up to fight one another, the biggest fight in history. And all of a sudden, what have we got? 2 warm-up fights in between. You know, I've said a lot, I've said this, I've said that, but it's all business, it's all building a fight. But now this is serious. You know, I'd say keep your WBC belt, I'm out of here. I'm fighting AJ with the belt or without it. I'm sure people still want it.
Yeah, well, like I say, I mean, it looks, well, obviously, you know, the contract's been signed, but hopefully, fingers crossed.
He signed a contract in an hall of a boxing venue. Put it under his nose, yeah, I signed that. Business isn't done like that, is it? Crazy. Tyson, watch what you're doing out there, lad. Enough said.
Just one more thing. For you personally, it must be sort of bittersweet in a way when Tyson's fighting all these fights in America and you're not able to be there. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't bother me one bit. You know, as long as he gets fair play, all I want him to do is reign and get what's right and you know, get fair play. If you get beat fair and square, that's not a problem with me. But I just see so many underhanded tricks being played in this field now. It's ridiculous. I've got the bellyache with it, you know. So at the end of the day, being there means nothing to me. Winning does, you know. If you've been conned out your title, because that's how it is, and that's how it's looking to me. You know what I'm saying? I know they've got to fight this, that, and the other, but I'm only going off what happened in Germany when he fought the Klitschko's. If we hadn't have been there, he'd have never come away with them belts. And I've had it first-hand experience. So I'm just worried from that escapade to what they're going to do in America. And I know they tell him he's bigger than the Beatles, he's bigger than Elvis. I've heard it all before. You can't kid a kid, can you? You know, but that's up to Tyson. He knows what he's doing. He's a big boy. But I'd reshuffle, come back, regroup, like a good general would do, and assess the situation properly and say, hang on, what can we do about this? Instead of being told what to do. Nobody could tell me what to do. I'd say straight, I'm not comfortable. No. I'm going to look at it properly. But everybody seems to be doing as Bob Arum says, you know. Not cricket, is it? Mean no harm to Bob. He's probably got his intentions right, but it's all about money and what they can do. All this is benefiting the Americans, you know, because they never wanted the Saudi fight, did they? Never wanted it. Tyson wanted it. I wanted it. Everybody in the world wanted it. You know, and what have we got? Deontay Wilder. So, beat him to pieces last time we weren't in a fight. But you can get complacent. Probably see a different Deontay Wilder this time. Probably a lot different. AJ and Usyk. It's not going to match up to what we was getting, is it? None of it. So I say to make a stand, all these boxers need to voice their opinion. Because without them, there's nothing. I keep telling them that. They've got to realise, without the boxers, there's nothing. They can't tell you what to do. It's up to you, what you want to do. I can't make Tommy come every morning. I like him to, but if he says I'm not coming, what can I do about it? Nothing. And they can do the same. I'm the champion. I'm the man in control. There's nothing goes without me. This is what I want. He is fighting the winner. Because this arbitration could have been squashed in December, but they didn't squash it. They ran out of time. Why didn't they squash it then when they knew this big fight was happening? You know, I can rattle on about this all day, but the public know, they're not fools. You know, and what can I say about it? Total garbage, a lot of it.